Rocket League is dead. It's what people keep saying over and over again. But what makes Rocket League different is that it always ends up coming back. This game has gone through the same strange cycle of dying and reviving itself again and again. So, how does this keep happening? How does Rocket League manage to fluctuate its player base so heavily over its 10 plus year lifespan? To understand that, we need to go back a couple years, to 2018. It was pretty obvious from the start that Rocket League is unique. The core mechanics, strategy, and overall concept of the game is what really made it an instant success. By 2018, Rocket League had reached 50 million players, with a thriving esports scene, unique content being created, and a massive community. The game was alive, and for just $20, it was a steal. By this time, Rocket League was a fairly well-known, still somewhat niche game that had an active and returning player base. The game was complete and comfortable, but if you've read the title of the video, you know it doesn't stay that way. Around 2019 and early 2020, Rocket League was starting to fizzle out. Not because of any changes, but more so the opposite. There weren't any game-breaking updates, the gameplay loop started to become stale, and slowly, the hype that once surrounded Rocket League was starting to fade. Essentially, the game flatlined. It had already peaked. I mean, it really is a classic story. A new, unique game releases, then slowly dies out. We've seen it time and time again. But this is where Rocket League's story is different. See, among all this came some conflicting news. In late 2019, it was announced that Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, were buying Rocket League. This caused a lot of conflict within the community, where half thought Epic would kill the game with its greedy monetization. Others were hopeful that this change would give a second chance to Rocket League. And it's safe to say they were correct.
Countless times, $1,000 dono.
Out of nowhere, Rocket League exploded and hit 1 million concurrent players. On September 23rd, 2020, Epic Games announced Rocket League was going free to play. Pairing this with the global lockdown keeping everyone indoors, the game got a second chance and successfully revived itself. Free to play coming out truly set Rocket League to new heights, with an entirely new community coming in and a fresh start for the game. With this new wave of players came a new wave of creativity. The entire content scene was alive, with so many of the classic Rocket League videos that we all still watch today coming out in this era. Free to play was so beneficial to Rocket League because it meant literally anyone could start playing and try the game for themselves, which is why even after the initial hype of the free to play update, the new baseline player base was higher than before. It's no secret that Rocket League is an addictive and unique game in the way that it's played, which is why with this new set of eyes on the game, they were instantly hooked. For a while, it felt like Rocket League was starting to head in the right direction again. It felt like they solved their biggest problem and were going to maintain this positive momentum. With a whole new player base and a surge of creativity, the game felt stable for the first time in years. But if there's one thing this game has proven before, it's that the cycle never stops. At first, everything seemed normal, and on the surface, Rocket League seemed completely fine. Then, the cracks started to show. One issue appeared, then another, and slowly a wave of problems began piling onto the game and the overall state of Rocket League began to decline. In early 2022, the bot Nexto was released. It was said to be a Rocket League bot that could compete with Grand Champion players, and after rigorous testing, this was proven true. The community initially found this amazing because it shows real innovation in the scene, and that was until the bot was found in ranked matches.
I don't want to play bots! Wait, dude, no, oh my god. Oh, it's a bot. He's 2044.
It does look like someone has figured out a way to deploy Nexto into ranked.
The bot wasn't meant to be in public matches, but with the help of mods, it was somehow playing for people. They sat back and let the bot queue ranked on their account. The bot was so hard to play against that if you found one in-game, it was essentially a guaranteed loss. After a few long months, the exploit was patched and no longer usable in-game, and the issue was seemingly over. Behind the scenes, bots were still evolving, and eventually got so good that they outclassed the human limit. Bots were bidding low, high SSLs, then eventually pros, and somehow, these bots began appearing in ranked matches again. This time, it was a bigger issue. because nobody was able to outclass these bots. And to this day, bots are still in ranked games and the issue has never been solved. The 1v1 playlist in particular is now a ghost town, full of bots in the higher ranks. Much like the ongoing issue with bots, some players discovered how to DDoS in matches, forcibly shutting down the server and giving themselves a free win. And unlike the bots, where you have a slight chance to fight back, there isn't any real way of getting around this. If you faced a DDoSer, the outcome was out of your hands. Fortunately, this was mostly an issue that affected players in the higher ranks, not impacting a majority of the casual player base. However, many of the competitive players who dedicated their time to Rocket League were being unfairly exploited against. From these issues rose the trending hashtag Rocket League is dead. Pros began speaking out and voicing their opinion about how the community felt neglected and left behind. But even with bots, even with DDoSing, the game was still standing. Players were frustrated, sure, but the core of Rocket League was still intact. Then the final dagger struck. On December 5th, 2023, trading was officially removed from Rocket League, and the backlash was immediate. For years, trading had been a core part of the community. An entire economy, community, and creators were built around it, and Epic Games took that away. Many players began accusing Epic Games of putting profit over players, and for a large part of the community, this was the moment trust finally broke. With the momentum from the hashtag Rocket League is dead movement, Epic Games removing trading was the final blow, and the moment that marked what many felt to be Rocket League's lowest point. After all these issues and the radio silence from Epic Games, the once loyal community grew irritated with the worsening state of Rocket League. What was once a fun and community-driven game turned into a corporate moneymaker, and many decided it was finally time to leave this game and its ignorance behind. By this point, Rocket League had only been declining, and it looked like the game was on track to continue falling and falling. That was until a streamer came along and decided to give the game a try. And that streamer's name is Jinxie. Yeah, he isn't very good, but instead he brought back what Rocket League had been missing for a long time now.
Bro, I want a Rocket League girlfriend, dude.
And that's personality. Jinxie is known to revive dead games time and time again. That's what the Jinxie effect is. He did it once with Rainbow Six Siege, again with Clash Royale, and now with Rocket League. The difference this time? Psyonix actually showed genuine thankfulness towards Jinxie for his help in reviving their game, unlike some other companies, which helped him keep motivated to play more and more. And with this, Jinxie brought Rocket League to the eyes of everyone. The game hit its all-time peak player count, even surpassing the peak in 2020 from free-to-play. He's had people like Ludwig, Stable Ronaldo, Queso, Speed, and so many other well-known figures coming into Rocket League and sharing it with a wider audience. Nonetheless, Jinxie fully revived Rocket League and brought it back to its highest point in history. So, when Rocket League was down at its lowest, it came back once again, all thanks to the Jinxie effect. No matter how many times this game falls, Rocket League always finds a way to come back. It will always have a consistent fanbase. However, the game constantly cycles from thriving to flatlining. Whether it's significant events, drought, or a stroke of luck, Rocket League will always continue to cycle back. So, how do you think the future of Rocket League holds? Thank you for watching.